If I remember correctly, I started with a $10 a day budget, and within a few days, I got my first sale doing this. What up, YouTube? How's life? This is day number 7 of the quarantine. Nah, I'm just playing. We out here surviving, not letting this virus stuff get us down. Looking on the bright side, everybody's staying in. Just another excuse to make music. So that's what we about. Today, what I'm going to do is really dive on in and give you guys a walkthrough on how exactly to set up a Google Ads campaign. This is a video that has actually been requested several times, so I figured I better give the people what they want, so to speak, and show you guys behind the curtain a bit in what has been the most successful means of getting online beat sales for my business to date. It is relatively straightforward to set up. I think a lot of people kind of are intimidated by it potentially because it seems complicated at first, but once you get into it, it's really not. So before I continue, if you guys enjoy these types of videos, if you learn something, if this is useful to your beat business, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more. Anyways, let's dive on in and see what we can do here. So basically, to set up Google Ads, the first thing that you need to do is go to ads.google.com and create an account. Creating an account is totally free, but if you want to run Google Ads, you're going to have to enter some form of credit card information for them to have on file. They're not going to charge you anything up front. The cool thing with Google Ads is you determine exactly how much or how little you want to spend on a daily basis on your ads. So go ahead and get that all set up. This video is kind of starting assuming that you already have a website with beats for sale and you already have a Google Ads account as well as a Google Analytics account, which you can also set up for free. Same thing, just type in Google Analytics to Google, set up the account there, link your website. That way you can track your metrics a bit better and understand who's coming to your website from where. And that's basically where we are now. This is the Google Ads dashboard. What you need to do to start running ads to your website is go ahead and click on the campaign tab. Click this little plus sign to the left. Click on new campaign. This is where you set a goal or an objective for your campaign. If you're like me and you're doing the same type of business that I am, you want those website sales, baby. So that's what we're gonna click on here. And this is where you can determine what type of campaign you want to run. There's a bunch of different options. Search is where people will go to the Google homepage and type in, a keyword that brings them to your site. Display is like an ad that you'll see on someone else's website, whether it's like a banner ad or, it could be placed on the side or whatever. That's what that is. Shopping, you'll notice that there's like a Google Shopping tab now for certain products. Video, this would be if you wanted to do YouTube ads. So you actually run YouTube ads from the Google backend system, if you didn't know that, because Google owns YouTube. So that's how that works. What has worked for me and what I suggest you doing is sticking exclusively to search. So again, that is people that go to Google and type in, like, let's say, rap beats for sale, and then, browse based on that, right? That's what you want, because those people are already interested in what you're selling, and so then it's there's already a stream of people doing that, and you just want to direct that stream to your website. Once you have selected the type of campaign, which in this case again is search, you can select the ways you'd like to reach your goal: website visits, phone calls, store visits, app downloads. Of course, the only thing that makes sense for us as online rap producers is website visits. So that's what you want to click. lukeforprezbeats.com. Go check it out. Listen to my beats. So now you can go ahead and name the campaign whatever you want. I'm just going to say test campaign, but name it whatever you want. Networks. So again, the search network is when people go to Google and type in a keyword that they're looking for. You want to unselect, include Google search partners, or deselect, I guess is the real word. And same with display network. This stuff just doesn't really work in the context of our business. And it's going to end up spending a portion of your daily budget on just ineffective ads that appear on other people's websites. They could be totally irrelevant to music, and it's just really hard to get those dialed. And I just recommend deselecting those, not even worrying about it, just making sure your entire budget is devoted to people who are actively typing in rap beat related keywords into Google search, and leave it at that. So deselect those. Locations. So this is an interesting one. Right now, what I do and what has been successful is I leave it just in the United States. And my thought process behind that is I want to get the US dialed before I start going a little bit more speculative with my spend and experimenting with other countries. I'm well aware that rap music is currently exploding all over the world, especially in certain countries in Europe. So my ultimate goal eventually is going to start to be experimenting with other countries and running campaigns specifically for the UK, let's say. But before I do that, I wanted to make sure that the US was really dialed and I could get that to a point where the campaign is profitable before moving on. You might have a differing opinion on that. Maybe you want to focus globally or whatever the case may be. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to leave it on US, and that's what I do to this day and how I started off, just straight up US, not even Canada. So this is like what types of people that you want to target. People in or who show interest in your targeted locations, people in or regularly in your targeted locations, people searching for your targeted locations. So, I mean, they recommend that you leave it here, and you can specifically set it to people that are actually within the United States. I'd actually do that because it's a little bit more specific. English will already be set. You just leave that the same. Audiences. So Google does track certain metrics with their users. So if you want to really narrow this in and just like utilize, different audiences, like people they think are interested in rap music, you could do that, and maybe I should experiment more with that. But what I've had success in so far is just leaving that blank and completely centering my campaign around keywords. And I'll get into that in just a second. This is where you can set your daily budget. I recommend starting small and working your way up. Don't just come in hot with $100 a day, because you're going to burn through a lot of money as it's optimizing. You have to go into this understanding that at first you are more likely than not to spend more money than you make. It might take weeks or months to get a campaign to break even and then become profitable. You have to know that you are sacrificing money up front, and that's just the name of the game, because you have to experiment, you have to try different things, and you have to give, in this case, Google the time to kind of optimize the ads to show them to the correct people, and that all just takes time. So I believe, if I remember correctly, I started with a $10 a day budget, and within a few days, I got my first sale doing this. If I remember correctly, I started with a $10 a day budget, and within a few days, I got my first sale doing this. What do you want to focus on in terms of the bidding? Absolutely leave it at conversions. Set a target cost per action. I unclick this actually and just let it happen manually. Yeah, actually at first, this is exactly what I do. Manual CPC, help increase conversions with enhanced CPC. So basically, like, what all this means is if you leave this clicked, then Google is going to determine how much you are paying per click. And what happens more often than not is they end up spending more than they need to. Maybe you get a click for 80 cents that could have been a 60-cent click. And the way that you figure this out is just by setting the budget to a certain amount per keyword yourself, just doing it manually and then adjusting based on the data that you get as you continue. So don't let them trick you into spending more money than you need to. Leave it manual CPC. In enhanced CPC, their algorithm is going to waste money for you, 100%. And again, they're going to try to scare you off from this. Setting bids manually may lower performance. I don't know, dog. I think they're just trying to sell you more. They're trying to make you spend more money, honestly, in my opinion. I'd leave all this the same. Ad extensions can be valuable. I don't think you're going to necessarily want to add your phone number to the ad. I mean, maybe. I definitely don't do that. But you can add links to like specific beats, right? And like for me, I actually have these set up already. So if you see my ad, you'll see that there's like a link. I actually need to update these because these beats are probably like super old because they're from right when I first set this up. But it just basically makes your ad appear bigger, and there's additional links that someone could potentially click on. So it's a good idea to add site links. So if there's a specific type of beat that they're looking for, you'll basically like hone in on that and increase your chances of the person clicking. So go ahead and click save and continue. And that brings us to the fun part. This is where you get to select the keywords that you are targeting. With keywords, you are basically predicting what your potential customers will be typing into Google to bring them to your website. There are a number of ways to go about selecting keywords for your Google ads, but I think the best thing to do is to use Google's free keyword planning software, where you can actually get an idea of search volume and competition, and also suggestions for similar keywords that you might not have thought of, all from their backend system. So once you have a Google Ads account, you will have access to Google Keyword Planner. And all you have to do is just type in Google Keyword Planner to Google for you to find it. And it looks like this. So what I would do is click on Discover New Keywords. And now it's going to give you a ton of data. Start with one keyword, like the most basic keyword that you can think of that relates to your business. So for me, that would be like buy rap beats, right? Or something like that. Click Get Results. And that's going to show you what the average monthly search amount is and the competition per keyword. Not only that, it's going to show you additional keyword ideas. So really what you can do, if these all look good, and I wouldn't recommend just copying all of them at once, but you could do that. But what I would do is go down the list and make sure all of them kind of match what you're actually selling, and try to find ones with high search volume but low competition. That's definitely easier said than done, especially in our niche, because as we know, the market's rather saturated. But don't be scared off if it says high competition. That just means you might have to bid a little bit higher per keyword to get people to click. But that's just the cost of doing business. So in any case, this is a great resource for you to figure out exactly what your keyword list is going to be. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and type in the different keywords here. So like rap beats for sale, buy trap beats, whatever. You're gonna have like a long list theoretically. Like when I first started, I think I had like 100 keywords, and I've since turned some off depending on performance, and certain ones just don't get much search volume. And this prediction is not always accurate, right? Like sometimes you'll get more search volume than this or less. It just kind of depends. Again, you have to experiment and see. Now, not all keywords are created equal. There are different settings that you can utilize for each keyword depending on how specific you want to be with the wording of each keyword. So that's a little confusing, but I'm gonna dive into it and explain. What you see here with just the words typed in, these are broad match keywords, meaning Any combination of these words with even additional words in front or in back or somewhere in between these three words, your ad might appear if someone types that in to Google. So like buy trap beats with crazy 808s or something, whatever. Like whatever they type in, your ads may still appear even if there's additional words if you leave it broad like this. Other things that you can do, however, is change them from broad keywords to exact match keywords. And all you have to do when entering your list of keywords here is put those brackets. Has to be those brackets, can't be those brackets, must be those specific brackets. If you put those brackets around your keyword, they have to type in these words exactly with nothing in the front, nothing in the back, not out of order. If they type in buy trap beats, your ad will show up, but not if they type in buy trap beats with da 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 da. But if they type in something else, your ads will not appear. So that's the most specific you can get. The other thing you can do is what's called a phrase match keyword, which is where you put your keywords in quotations like this. This is the in-between setting, essentially. This phrase must appear in what the person types in, but there may be other things in the front or the back, other words, but it has to appear in this order somewhere in the search query. So what I do is a combination of all three types of keywords. The reason why you want to do this is because if you just put something super generic as a broad match keyword, for instance, buy beats, people searching for Beats by Dre headphones might click on your ad, and that's just a complete waste of money, right? Because if your keyword is buy beats and it's a broad match like this, even if they type in buy beats by Dre headphones, your ad may still come up. They click on it. Obviously, it's not what they're looking for, and you lose money because you just sent bad traffic to your site or incorrect traffic to your site. So try to be as specific as you can and really kind of hone in on your niche and make sure to utilize both phrase match and exact match keywords within your keyword planning strategy. And here's where you set your default bid for each keyword. My recommendation for your starting bid is to start a bit high and then dial it back little by little and see if your budget still maxes out. That way, you know that you're getting the most efficient bang for your buck per keyword. So like, I don't know, maybe 90 cents is a good place to start per click. And then you can slowly bring that down if you see that your budget is maxing out like really fast, or if it's just continuously maxing out. You know, maybe you want to try 85 cents and see if it still maxes out, then 80 cents, see if it still maxes out, and just kind of dial it back from there. All right, so once you've selected your keywords, you've selected the bids for those keywords, now you get to create your actual ad. This is what people see when they type in a keyword. So you get two headlines. So professional rap beats for sale. Oh, and look, I'm over. So you only get 30 characters here. So professional rap beats, or maybe buy. See, you can choose like whatever you want to write here, and then you could be like download instantly. So this is where you got to become a salesperson. You have to entice people to click. What do you think your target audience will respond to the most? There is no wrong answer to that. It's up to you to figure out what works best. So take some time to really dial this in and figure out exactly what phrasing you want to utilize within the ad. I'm not here to encourage you to put specific types of words in it. It's really just going to be up to you. You can add various descriptions. You can add additional URLs, as I mentioned earlier. Here's what one of my ads looks like, so you can just get a sense for what I wrote. Again, you can maybe do something better than what I have popping off here if you think you can improve upon it, but just to show you completely behind the curtain, this is what the ad looks like here. So hip-hop/trap beats for sale, flexible lease options. Oh, and it's actually cycling through different ones. Flexible lease options, Luke for Prez Beats. Boom. There's the link. And then the description, instantly download professional rap, hip-hop, and trap instrumentals, lease beats, or purchase exclusive rights. So I'm giving them a preview of what to expect. This is a different one I have where my name is actually in the front, Luke for Prez Beats, and purchase rap/hip-hop beats. So it's pretty straightforward. That's just a quick example of one of my ads to give you a good idea. So once you have your actual ad copy dialed in, go ahead and click confirm and it'll take you to the confirmation page. When you hit continue to campaign, the campaign is live. And you'll see it, the status as eligible. It might say like in review or something for you guys if this is your first one. But you see it says enabled, budget $10 a day. So at that point, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and let the money start rolling in. Nah, I wish it was that simple, but nah, once it starts, I mean, you will get traffic to your site. Maybe you'll get some sales to start with, but again, this is where the hard part of the process actually starts. Once you have the campaign up and running, it's about optimizing. It's about consistently checking your metrics, seeing which keywords are performing the most, and adjusting the budgets on adjusting the bid amount on each keyword, and just continually getting it dialed. This is something that I do on a consistent basis. I'm constantly looking at this and analyzing the metrics and seeing how I can improve and become more efficient and become more profitable ultimately. That's the main goal. So that is a really, really quick overview in terms of how to get your campaign for Google Ads set up and what the actual backend system looks like. Hopefully this takes a little bit of the guesswork out of using Google Ads. Again, this has been the most profitable way that I've found to make beat sales online to date. It is in no way perfect. To this day, I am still working on improving the profitability. Some months I break even. Some months I lose a bit of money, but more often than not, I am profitable off of these ads. So keep that in mind. It is a long process to get there, but you got to just dive in and get started on it if you ever want to get there. So yeah, I hope you found this video enjoyable and helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on any of this, or feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at Luke for Prez. I will respond and do my best to help you get this thing set up. And with that, I am going to call it a day with this video. Please like and subscribe and all the YouTube stuff. You know your boy needs it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon on the next one. Peace.